Special guest, Amy Correa Bell, artist and actress. How are you?
I'm doing great.
That's good.
I'm doing great.
That's awesome. So we'll start off the whole podcast, I just want to ask, like, you can tell the listeners and the people who are listening who you are, what brought you to LA, how you got into acting, music,
Nice.
everything.
Nice. Well, I am a Los Angeles native. Now, I'm a Valley girl, born in the 818.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
So I have pride in being a Valley girl.
what is that
LA.
even? Wait, what is there that the whole thing? Because I know there's a movie with Nicolas Cage called Valley Girl. Did you ever watch that?
Yeah, old school movie. Well, there's a lot of misconceptions about Valley girls. They think that they're girls from Beverly Hills with little chihuahuas and purses that cost millions of dollars and constantly talking like, what? It's actually, no, it's nothing of that.
Oh.
Valley girls are from the valley where there's mountains. We live underneath the mountains, which means most likely we grew up with BMX bikes, skateboards, or horses. And we're not in the city area, so we're a little more tomboys. So if you know any Valley girls, they're always a little tomboy, but cool.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the thing you said at the beginning too.
So I will say that I do say totally. I do say dude a lot. Rad. All the like slang of Valley girls, it's there, but it's just not done in a like bougie, like my daddy's rich, so I don't do anything sort of way.
Most Valley the wrong stereotype.
It is.
Why is that? Why did I have that in my mind too?
I think because when Clueless came out back in the day, I don't even know. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Right. Wait. So.
But that's why I do represent myself as an 818 Valley girl, because I want to represent my hood and where I'm from.
That's awesome.
And I want to make a real representation of it, so the world can see.
You have a pretty big following on social media, so it's like, I know I see a lot of artists who like they start a certain way and then they veer away from their branding and who they were, and it kind of throws off a lot of their like people who supported them. Do you think that happens a lot?
Yeah, I do.
That's what I'm getting from when you were like, this is who I am, and I'm staying true to it. That's
yeah.
Because I know when you like go against your, like you started off a certain way and you change it, messes you up, so it's awesome.
This industry keeps changing every few years.
Right.
The world keeps changing. I started acting when I was 11 years old as an extra, because I wanted to be on TV so bad. So any door open, they were filming Meteor Man by my house.
Oh man, that was my favorite as a kid. You're in that?
Yeah.
Oh wait, what part did you play?
I'm an extra in it.
Oh man, that was my movie back in the day.
Yeah, and I was so excited. I just begged to be in it, and they got me connected with the manager. Was on set. Was like, here, let's talk, and they got me to sign. I got all the paperwork done. I ended up being an extra on that and Munchies. Remember that movie Munchies 2?
No, I don't remember that one.
Munchies 2?
No.
So that's how I got started into acting. But when I was 16, I auditioned to be in this girl group for MCA. It was like an acting audition, but you had to sing and dance. And at the time, like I was in choirs, I knew how to sing, but I was like, I don't want to be in a singing group. I'm an actress. Like that's gonna take me off the path. And everyone was like, it's already a signed record deal. It already is going. It's only gonna help. So that's kind of how I got in the music industry. And from there on, I learned how to write music and produce, because my brothers are DJs and producers as well.
That's awesome.
But I say all that to say, being in that girl group, I was told how to dress, how to act, and then when I got out of it, I joined all these different bands. I was in a band with my brother and a friend of mine named Sterling. We did a couple bands together, and I was in another one after that. So all this to say, like, when Instagram started, things changed. The whole world changed. Everybody started wearing more makeup. Everything's with a filter. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I maybe got lost in the sauce when it first started. Because I was already on YouTube and Tumblr. Like I was a big Tumblr blogger.
Oh, really? So we started off when the wave came first, because it was like
I have like a blog that has a lot of followers still on Tumblr.
On Instagram too, so that's why I was like, oh, I'm excited to have you on, because like then we could use the platform for like the whole like anti-bullying and self-love. So it's a great way to like
Thank you.
use it for a good way, you know. So it's funny
Well,
that you started off at the catch of the wave with Tumblr. That was like really early.
I love Tumblr still, yeah. And that was when I was putting things on there that just inspired me. Then it turned into a fashion blog, and that's when I think I got a little lost because every photographer I'd shoot with wants me to look like a model,
Right.
and I am a model as well. So I always get pigeonholed into like lots of makeup or really sexy this or that. But when it comes to my music, and I had this revelation, like I love Mac Miller, I love Logic. These are the recent artists I like.
Right.
I love like Tom York, you know, all the artists I followed growing up, Sting, Beastie Boys. I love them because they represent where they're from and they're authentic. And it just hit me like, dude, I gotta represent Lakeview Terrace, 818, Los Angeles, people, the natives from here. You know, Nipsey Hussle's life and death was a big wake-up call, and he really represented where he was from, and he left such an impact. It really inspired me as well to just stay true to my roots. And you know, even if I've had some slips along the way trying to find myself because of this industry and all the demands and just trying to keep up, like I just got over the Instagram, like caring about when I post and likes, like.
And you know what's funny? Just like everyone that I have once a guest, we always touch on that, and it's like everyone. It's like one of those like taboo things to talk about, where it's like everyone is going through that same thing. It's like
That's why I'm just busting it all out.
Exactly, because it's like I hope like people that are listening, especially if they're younger and they feel like it's affecting them. It's not something to be embarrassed of. It is like, oh, why didn't I get likes on this? But I don't know. I feel like for me, it was just like I just stopped caring. How did it work for you? How did you get over that whole like, oh, I didn't get this many likes?
I was stressing out one day about posting a photo.
Me too.
I texted two friends about it, talked to my husband, and then I just said, okay, it's been 30 minutes and I'm still focused on this photo. Meanwhile, I have an audition. Meanwhile, I need to go to the studio in 3 hours. And I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna just pass.
You know, that brings me to like one of my first questions is, do you think that this whole like social media has brought more mental illness on people post because of it? It's brought more like people have. Yeah.
Yes, because what you see on Instagram is not true. It's what people want you to think. So it's, you know, and even when girls say no makeup, no filter, like I tend to not believe it all the time because it's also the right angle and the right sunlight and the right this that you look your best at.
Right.
You know, if someone just happened to take a picture with an old phone and posted that on Instagram, you might have a heart attack. So I think just seeing everyone looking so amazing and always having a good time, never posting a sad day or a bad day, it's just unrealistic expectations. We almost live in this world where everything's so positive that you think if something's not extra joyful and happy that there's something wrong.
Right.
And there's not. It's just sometimes you have a bad day, sometimes things hurt, sometimes you're angry, and you need to allow time to feel normal feelings.
Right. That's crazy.
Sorry, I can go on and on about that
forever. When you were back in high school and stuff, was there any like, do you have a story or an incident where you felt like an outsider, you got bullied for something, and you faced bullying in a way, and what you learned from it? If you look back on it, is there like a moment that...
Truthfully, I grew up in an era where when you walked into school, everyone was clowning you what you were wearing.
Like it was like that?
Yeah, they'd be like, oh, look at so-and-so coming up with a shoe that looked from last week. And the only way that you could get into school without getting super clowned and feeling like crap is to say something back. And I know I'm not saying do that.
Right.
But back in the day, like if you didn't go, whatever, like if you didn't do that.
That was the culture.
That was the culture.
Right.
But, so I grew up used to being, I've been called so many names, and I'm not gonna lie, the stuff that the bullying I had in elementary school affected me more than the bullying I got in high school.
Right.
But it all happened so differently than it does today. I don't know how I would have been able to handle something being public or posted online, because that's for the whole world to see, as opposed to like 10
Right.
kids at your school
I know.
that know about you getting clowned in the
Right.
morning, you know?
That's like kind of like I touched on a lot in the last podcast before you had got here, which was like when I was getting bullied a lot in like high school, middle school, I would keep it to myself because like it's already happening, so I don't want to go put it on blast to like my parents or the teachers because I know it may amplify it more. So it's like
Yeah.
that's why I was like, but I see like nowadays a lot of people are using that whole come out on social media and tell them your problems as like a therapy. So it's like I don't know. That's why I'm like thinking like I don't know. That's why I'm like.
It's like you do want social skills to stand up to people. And I also do think there's a good element that I went through that because I'm not a softie and like I could handle myself in social atmospheres, whether someone's being a bully or not, because I grew up that way. But because now I think everyone's so sensitive that you can't make a joke or say you look like this actor, or everyone takes it super personal, but it's almost like we have to start over because of social media on how to approach bullying, because one comment, I will say this, being a female, being clowned about my body, different body parts in elementary school, it did like challenge me growing into a woman to want to like alter certain things about myself.